All right, guys, today we are going to be reacting to the 10 facts about the epic empires. I don't know what the hell is this all about. Again, this is a reaction. I'm going to get any background. Just simply going to react to this. Let's jump in. All right.
LARP is a badass hobby of hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. It's basically like playing video games, but in real life.
Oh,
Today,
okay.
I'll show you a LARP event that makes you feel like you are right inside of a movie. Hey, I'm Sonia, and here are 10 facts about epic empires. The event is held at the Utopion Bexbach campground in the west of Germany, not far from the border to France. It's a beautiful and huge LARP site with more than 160 hectares of woods, meadows, and hills you can play on. It usually happens every year at the end of August for about
And I think we reacted to something similar here. It's to the 10 facts about the Drachen. Something similar, I guess. This is very similar.
Epic Empires is the third biggest LARP event in Germany, with around 1,200 people attending. Most of these LARPers come from all over Germany and some neighboring European countries, so the main language is German. But people are very welcoming, and they will switch to English for you. There is one big difference to most LARP events though. At Epic Empires, you have to be at least 18 years old to attend. Children and people underage are not allowed. The reason is simple. Epic Empires is all about full and deep immersion into a fantastic world. And that might include role-playing intense conflicts, experiencing scenes of violence, or playing with the concept of sexuality. If you get easily triggered by such topics, this event might not be for you.
Good point.
So to make it as safe as possible for everyone, Epic Empires is strictly for adults that are legally capable of full self-responsibility. And of course, everyone takes care of each other.
Oh,
It's
that's
a
kind of
medieval
cool.
fantasy setting with a wild mix of high and low fantasy. There are characters from the Warhammer Fantasy universe, mixed with historically inspired characters. And you can also see orcs and elves that would fit perfectly into a Lord of the Rings movie. The concept of this LARP event is player versus player. And the camps really take that seriously. You don't just go into another camp like that. There will be guards, and they will try to take you down if you have evil in mind. So your LARP character would probably pay with their life for such a careless act. This setting is awesome if you like the thrill that your next enemy might be just around the corner. And of course, it's also great for diplomatic roleplay. Your character can achieve a lot in this world if they are good with words, with political strategies, or if they have just a big bag of coins. The Lesat are the native inhabitants of the fantastic world of Epic Empires. Once upon a time, their gods fought a violent war and almost destroyed the world. That is why the Lesat decided to overpower their own gods and lock them into prisons. And now, you have the chance to influence this world with your own actions. May it be through politics, adventurous quests,
But that means
rituals.
you need to know a lot about medieval politics, right? Medieval politics, or even before medieval. I'm talking about before the Ars Nova period, right? Like this is way, probably what, the 9th century, something like that. Like this is way beyond that.
Or through combat on the battlefield. Most of the plot of this LARP event is generated by the players themselves. So you really have a big influence on how the story of Epic Empires evolves. In LARP, it's all about roleplay. You create your own fantasy character, and then you stay in that role for the entire event. At Epic Empires, this is taken very seriously. You really commit to your role and never break character during the event. But where are the limits, you might ask? If this is fantasy and I can create whatever I want, are there still rules? Yes. And in the case of Epic Empires, the rules are very simple. Your LARP character can only do what you can realistically portray. So, your character can't fly unless you can realistically portray that. And if you want to use magic, for example, you do that by using realistic effects such as light or smoke.
Oh.
And if you want to play a thief, you can absolutely do that. Just stick to the rules and only steal these marked red bags.
Oh,
You might fight-
that is. You know what's crazy? I like that. I was wondering about that. What about the thief? How do you keep yourself in that character if you need to steal?
Them tied to somebody's belt when you walk around the beautiful city at Epic Empires. In battle, you count the times you get hit, and it depends on your armor and your experience how many hits you can take before the character is critically wounded. At Epic Empires, the focus is not on winning at all costs. It's much more important to have a great roleplay experience, even in battle. That's why the camps actually rate each other at the end of each event. Whoever has put the most into creating a great overall atmosphere and immersive roleplay wins the so-called B-Note. After all, it's so boring when everyone is an invincible hero of badass stuff. It's much more fun for everyone if you also give someone else a hero moment. That's a sign of true self-confidence, and also one for good roleplay in LARP. That being said, Epic Empires also allows full contact battle, if both parties agree to it.
Oh.
It's the so-called Aufs Maul rule, which basically means in your face. If both parties signal their consent, you can go into full in-fight mode.
Wow.
If you want to know more about the rules, there's a full rulebook online of the Epic Empires homepage, even in English.
Camps.
At Epic Empires, there are more than 12 camps you can choose from. Since it's simply impossible to introduce you to every single one of them, here is a look at a few great examples. The Orc camp is built into a natural quarry and
That's
surrounded
crazy,
by high
bro.
stone walls. Skulls and bones warn the visitors to be extremely careful with these
That's
dark
crazy.
creatures.
Yo, those
The
look
Elven
real.
camp is the
Oh, my
polar
bad.
opposite. Elegant
Yo, those bodies look real.
palisades are built right into the woods. You will walk on freshly cleaned forest paths. You will marvel at elven art. And you can even climb these platforms right into the treetops. Off we go to the camp of the Norsemen. This is the Norrelak. It's another great example that everything at Epic Empires is built to be fully immersive. People even do everyday tasks in-game.
Wow.
At Norrelak, you really feel like you are surrounded by Vikings and Norsemen. But you can also choose to go to the dark side.
Oh.
What an impressive palisade, right? Covered in hundreds of skulls, you know right away to be
In the real, I guess, in the real sense of things, seeing a lot of skulls, that is very intimidating.
fearful of these people. Welcome to the Chaos Camp. If you know Warhammer Fantasy, you know that this is the realm of dark rituals, evil politics, and bloodthirsty battles. And then here is a great example of a more historically inspired low fantasy camp. Welcome to the Pilgrims Camp. You can see colorful palisades with high watchtowers and soldiers marching side by side with long polearms in their hands. The Pilgrims Camp really looks like it's set right in the late European Middle Ages between the 13th and the 16th century. And these are just a few examples of the diverse camps you can be a part of at Epic Empires. All of them have wonderfully decorated campsites and are a pleasure to look at. You won't see a single plastic chair or any mobile phones. For these 5 days, you really live in a medieval fantasy world. Every camp is completely self-organized and has between 50 and 100...
How do you have, hold on, how do you have like 19, I mean, not 19, at least, what, 18 to 17th century soldiers in medieval times? That's kind of weird.
50 members. If you want to be a part of a camp, you need to apply first. And that's how we get to our next point. For most LARP events, you can simply buy a ticket and go to the event. That's different for Epic Empires. In order to visit this LARP, you need to choose a camp and then apply for it with a photo and a concept of your character. Only if they accept your application, you will be able to attend. That's important for 2 reasons to them. First of all, your concept and your costume need to fit the respective theme of the camp. So, if you want to be a part of the antique camp, for example, your character needs to fit into the world of the old Romans or Greeks. The entire plot of this LARP event only makes sense if your character really fits the theme. The second reason is that Epic Empires wants to create a super immersive experience. The goal is that everyone really feels like they are in an actual fantastic world for 5 days. The outfits are as much a part of that as the decoration of your camp.
And so that's real food too.
It needs to be so realistic and well done that it adds to the immersion for everyone. That doesn't mean you need to have a super expensive outfit, however. A simple but well-executed costume is absolutely enough. Basically, don't look like this and wear your 90s LARP pirate shirt, cheap plastic fabrics, and old hiking boots. Instead, use good basics in fitting colors and, most importantly, in-game shoes. Yes, in-game shoes. Or perfectly covered up out-game shoes might be the most outstanding difference to your average LARP game. But don't worry, the camps are really helpful and open-minded. They will support you with tips and tricks for easy improvements if necessary. And they will make sure you will
Imagine it start raining. What happens if it start raining? What do you guys do? What do you guys do? Do you guys stop or do you guys keep... I guess you guys will keep going, right? It doesn't matter.
Right at home when you attend. The Orc Camp even offers an Orc apprenticeship at Epic Empires. If you have always wanted to know if this roleplay is for you, you can be an orc for a day. They will lend you a costume and guide you around. Once your application was successful, you can purchase your tickets directly through your respective camp. Depending on when you book, the prices are between 130 and 180 euro for the 5-day event.
How about?
Epic Empires is completely organized by volunteers. They are part of a non-profit association, and so the money from the tickets goes entirely back into the event.
Yep. To fund it.
Yes, there are decent sanitary facilities at Epic Empires. You will find hot showers on 2 locations and mobile toilets on at least 3 locations of the campsite. Be prepared to walk a little, because the campsite is really big. You will also find the paramedics adjacent to the shower containers. They can help you with any health issues. In terms of merchants, there are only a few in the town center that sell mead or time in a hot tub. In general, you need to bring your own food and drinks to Epic Empires. And people really take their time to cook and even bake in-game. I have seen some beautiful historical ovens and cooking stations over open fire. It absolutely adds to the immersive atmosphere, so make sure to bring your own supplies. If you want more information, visit epic-empires.de and make sure to check out Epic Empires on Facebook and Instagram. They are very active on social media and happy to answer all your questions or direct you to a camp of your choice. If you liked this video, make sure to follow our channel Sonya's Adventures for more cool LARP
pretty
videos
cool, man.
and for other badass adventures.
That's pretty cool. I think this is a very good, fun way of just going to the roots of the medieval culture. A lot of pagan. There used to be a lot of pagans religions, a lot of pagans cultures. That My question is. Here's my question, though. Here's my question. Ready? How many days is this thing? How many days? Is it a week? It's only 3 days. If it's on one day, I don't think it will do it. I don't think that will do it. It has to be more than 3 days at least. It has to. Pretty cool goal. Pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.